Okay. So, hi, evening, friends. Evening, everybody. Bache. Evening, everybody. I guess we know each other pretty well. I'm Dr. Sushant Soni, MBBS MAMC, MD Pathology, Resident Hemat-oncology, AIIMS Delhi. So, bache, let us have a look at again an important session today. That is, I'll be catering to two main things in this session. So, Priya, haan, bache, extremely nice. I'm doing well. Really, thanks for the same. And as usual, bache, as usual, it is an extremely interactive session. So, please keep on writing your views, inputs, and everything in the chat box. So in this session, bache, we'll cater to two main things. Firstly, today morning, the Supreme Court, the highly honorable Supreme Court, has said that the COVID duties should be incentivized. So COVID duty marks, whether they will be given or not, what is the probability of the Supreme Court order being going through. This is the first thing that we will be having a look at. And secondly, the job opportunity for the MBBS doctors, the work from home. Because this is a continuation of the previous session itself. In the previous session, we had a look at the pros and cons of going to the hospital, doing the duty. And bache, after that, actually, my telegram was flooded with personal messages ki, what are the other opportunities that we doctors post MBBS that we can utilize to earn money. So this is a session which will cater to these two things. Let us start with the first thing that I am sure that would be on mind of everybody today. Supreme Court said that in one of the conversations, the Supreme Court judge said that if there are so many doctors who are not willing to come to the duty, so why don't we give them marks for NEET PG? Now this was just a statement, or this was just a question that was raised by a Supreme Court judge. This under no circumstance means that marks will be given, firstly, until such a rule comes out. Secondly, but it is not practical to do so. Why? There are two, three reasons for the same. Matlab, why would marks only be given for these 100 days of duty? Firstly, what about the interns who did the duty for the whole year? Won't they be given extra marks firstly? Secondly, how many marks? How many marks? Will they be marks की 10 या 20 marks दे दो, 10% increment दे दो, 20% increment दे दो? How many marks for these 3 months? Thirdly, will the marks be given only for the government duties, or will they be applicable for the private setup also? Now, if they are applicable for the private setup also, they will not be. It will not be that it will be only applicable for the big private hospitals. Now, government across all the states, they have authorized majority of the private hospitals to treat COVID patients. So अगर एक private hospital में allow कर रहे हैं, so then it would be allowed for all the private setups. As a result of which, it will simply open the floodgates for fake certificates to be made. So all I'm trying to say is, whether extra marks are given for these 100 days of duty or not will not matter much. This is because the same will be applicable for everybody, in the sense that either everybody will be getting marks or nobody will. It will not happen like, hypothetically speaking, suppose I'm an intern. I did my duty the whole year, but now in these 3 months I want to sit and study. So I will not do this ki chalo, if I'm not working in these 3 months, I will not go to any private hospital and get my certificate made. I'll certainly go and get my certificate made. Yeah, government does not have enough hospitals or enough jobs to incorporate all the 1.5 lakh NEET PG aspirants. So do not worry too much about this rule. That is all that this much will be sufficient at this point, that this was just a statement which was raised by a Supreme Court judge. So which we do not have to learn how to react, we have to learn how to respond. Because when we are responding to the statements, we are in a much more calmer place. We do not have anxiety attacks, because since the morning, the statement came today morning around 11:30, again that led to a lot of panic among the students. So as of this point, bache, do not worry. Everybody is in the same boat, and whether you are given marks or not, all of you will either be getting the marks of COVID duty or you will not, whether you do the duty or not. So relax about this point. Next, this gets us to our next point for today's session, that is job opportunities for MBBS doctors work from home. Yesterday or day before yesterday in the session, we had a look at all the job opportunities, the government setups where you could have applied or at few private places. For the people who want to work from home, this work from home, let me write it on actually the next page, but this work from home, this WFH that we call it, or work from home, this can either be part-time or full-time. I mean, I'll be telling you about both the opportunities as well as the remunerations of the same. All these are verified leads personally by me, so you can trust them blindly. I mean, these are actual ones. So both part-time and full-time. The biggest factor for the student, why will somebody like to work from home? There are 2-3 things which can be taken into consideration. Firstly is that you are feeling big time saturated about studying. Sara din hum pad nahi sakte. I cannot sit and study for the whole 8 to 10 hours. I want to work part-time for say 3 to 4 hours. But 3 to 4 hours will be the minimum part-time. It will, majority of the apps are doing that. It cannot just be 1 to 2 hours. So one is that we are feeling saturated. Acha, before I go further, incentive, I'll take care of the queries side by side only, bache. Manoj, now yes, with respect to incentive marks, it was just a query that was raised by a Supreme Court judge and it is not certain as of now. Yes, Anjali, bache, I fully agree. Tired, I mean, this in a simple word summarizes the condition at this point. Tired of what is going on. मतलब इंसेंटिव मार्क्स देने हैं नहीं देने, पेपर कब है कब नहीं, अरे यार पेपर लेके ख़त्म करो ना. I mean, the first time it was postponed, I was against it. 18th April it was postponed, I was against it. मतलब at this point, I'm saying it very frankly, पेपर हो जाए मैं जाके गंगा नहा लूँगा. I mean, for the Hindi speaking, this is actually a fact. So tired, but करना तो है ही. बच्चे, exam being preponed again, as you yourself has said, it is a rumor. I am saying so because PIL was lodged for the same. देखो, in a democracy, if we are not happy about a decision, we go to the court. So some students went to the court and a PIL has been launched, has been put in front of the court that why don't you prepone the exam. Court already has said that at least 1 month notice will be given. Chances of the PIL being heard sooner and court coming to a decision and stuff, बहुत time लगने वाला है. So exam being preponed is nothing but a rumor. So don't worry about that point also. Don't worry at this point about the incentive marks also. It is not going to matter, as we discussed along with the reasons of the same. बच्चे हर कोई फेक सर्टिफिकेट बनवा लेगा. इस टाइम पे कोई भी इतना दूध का धुला नहीं है कि बाकी लोगों को इंसेंटिव मार्क्स मिल रहे हैं, हम लोग नहीं लेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला. सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट, दोज इंसेंटिव मार्क्स ऑल्सो. Everybody is in the same boat and everybody will go through the same procedure. Next, Anand, thanks Bache, and this is actually a continuation of should I join or not, because many students actually messaged me कि sir, we are not vaccinated but are either feeling saturated or want to be slightly independent. I mean, again, I'm saying this on a recorded public platform that yes, app extensions are expensive. There's no doubt about it. The paper keeps on getting postponed every time. XYZ, any app that you have taken, yes, some are slightly better, some have better rules, others might not, are that pocket friendly. But bache, any app that you have taken, extending the same requires money and it is expensive. So if anybody wants to be slightly independent or wants a part time की saturation हो रहा है, बाकी time में पढ़ लेंगे, or even wants to work full time कि नहीं, I want to work full time but from the safety of my own home. So work from home is a very good option for those, both part time as well as full time. So let us have a look at what are the what are the things that we can do. हाँ बच्चे, I'm talking, हाँ, even every mark matters, so वैसा नहीं होगा. Now PGs are forcing for incentive marks. Can't we again file a case? बच्चे कितने cases file करेंगे? Dexter नहीं पता मुझे. INI-CT will happen. Before, this is the last question that I'll take before I go to work from home. बच्चे, INI-CT, nobody knows the exact date as of now. Absolutely no doubt about it. Yes, it is postponed, but it will happen. INI AIIMS, it follows 2 cycles every year. It will happen. Don't worry about it. So let us come to work from home. Let us come to any experience. No experience other than let us go point wise with respect to work from home. Firstly, which are the different apps which are available for the same? Now, one of the biggest apps for working from home is the Practo app. Bache. This is a big app in the sense that close to 80% of the work from home market, 80% market share is of the Practo app. But two disclaimers. This is one of the oldest apps for doctors for work from home, so it is slightly tougher to please in the sense that incentive for doctors is on the lower side. Incentive is lower. They give approximately 75 rupees per consultation to a post MBBS doctor. Nothing other than they will ask for your degrees, they will ask for internship completion certificate, but other than that, no other experience or qualification is needed. So MBBS degree, internship completion certificate. Next point. However, incentive though is on the lower side, but it deals in bulk of patients. Firstly. Secondly, इस ऐप पे personally speaking, if somebody asks from me, बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा मारा मारी है. I mean, it is like a fish market. What happens is that the minute a patient logs on to the Practo app, the details of that particular patient are sent to 20 doctors. Whosoever doctor picks that patient up the first, that patient is transferred to that particular doctor. So it always helps while after you have written MBBS. This is true for majority of the apps. The app will ask you for any experience or any particular specialization of yours. But in today's era, please do type COVID, fever, and sore throat. I know this is, I do not ask me what I mean by fever as a specialization or sore throat as a specialization, but these are the keywords which the patient will be typing on the Practo app. And the doctors who have typed these keywords, the chances of Practo picking those doctors up are slightly higher. Everything is based on keywords. Next point. Just a sec. Practo is asking clinic address. Doesn't matter, but your home address. Work. Then the government did not. We have already started. I know. When can we get vaccinated on priority basis? But a majority of the private hospitals have started vaccination for all 18 plus, and doctors are always given priority. So as a doctor, बच्चे कुछ भी नहीं है. You just need to go to the private setup where vaccination is being performed. Tell the doctor who is vaccinating or tell the person who is vaccinating, I'm a doctor, and they will not ask you to be in queue. They should not ask you. Next, हम नहीं बच्चे, there is no Justin as of now, no separate license is needed for the same. So first was Practo. The next app is the Librate app. Librate, bache, this is slightly more friendlier towards the doctors. The incentive scheme for the doctor is slightly better. It is slightly better. However, the number of patients as well as the remuneration for the same number of patients as well as the total in-hand money that you will get will be slightly on the lower side. However, Librate will help you in promotions, as in if you're doing well and if you're getting clients and the patients are satisfied as with the reviews, they will even send a person to your home or clinic where they will ask you to make a video of the same and promote. So Librate is another option for you guys. Next, the third option is Doctor on A, that is Drona. Will this many doctors have? हाँ बच्चे, there is enough. FMGs can apply, graduation complete, बच्चे, but see, all you need is a doctor degree for the FMGs, which this is applicable even for the fund medical graduates also. देखो, for all these apps, whatever I'm talking of, whether it is the Practo app, the Librate app, the Drona app, this in short is called as Drona or Doctor on app. All you need for these is the doctor degree before your name. So whether you are an Indian medical graduate, a foreign medical graduate, or whatsoever, if you have a legal doctor degree, in the sense that you have something to prove, your internship completion certificate or whatsoever, you are eligible to practice on these. Next point, Drona on the other hand manages your appointments also well. However, all three bache, you will need to do a lot of data entry and typing, but once you get a hang of it, data copy paste हो जाता है. बच्चे नहीं, प्री फाइनल ईयर स्टूडेंट्स विल नॉट, दैट वाज एक्चुअली अ वेरी वेरी क्यूट क्वेश्चन मनिका. बच्चे, बट प्री फाइनल ईयर स्टूडेंट्स विल नॉट बी एबल टू प्रैक्टिस ऑन द सेम. यू नीड अ लीगल डॉक्टर डिग्री. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट नहीं बच्चे, नहीं नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. सो नेक्स्ट, this gets us to a verified contact of my batchmate who is in a pretty senior position at HCL Healthcare. I had for this session, but I had extensive talks with 2 or 3 of the people as such, and I have been assured that Nakul, he is my batchmate, he is MAMC batch 2004 only, and he is a senior at a senior position in HCL Healthcare. All you have to do is send your resume. This works different from Practo, Librate or Drona. मतलब उसमें तो in all these three it was patient dependent. Whether in Practo you have to be fast enough, this was like the fastest finger first, patient आया तो you had to click faster. In Librate as well as Drona, that is doctor on app, the patient had to choose you. This is not the way HCL Healthcare works. HCL Healthcare, this is both part-time as well as full-time. It will give you lump sum money per month, which varies. Though I really hope Nakul is not listening to this, and I was asked by him not to say it off, because the HR will directly communicate and negotiate your amount depending upon how desperate they are and how desperate you are. But this varies from 50 to 80k per month for an 8-hour job. These 8 hours, you will get a 45-minute lunch break in between, and it is actually documented that you are working or not. You have to be constantly logged on. You will not be able to relax in these 8 hours, in the sense कि अगर patient नहीं भी है, so they will ask you to do something or the other. But this is exactly 8 hours, and this is fixed money. Working from home, this is fixed money. You can do part-time in this also at 4 hours or 6 hours slots. These are the 3 slots available for HCL Healthcare. But your resume, you just have to, you can for the resume part, with respect to Nakul, I can personally assure you that there are numerous vacancies on HCL Healthcare. कुछ नहीं करना. In the subject, when you are mailing it, you just have to email it at this email ID. In the subject, simply type resume for MBBS vacancy, for MBBS job vacancy. Next, when you write the email, simply start with hi, morning, sir, afternoon, evening, whatsoever it is. Please find attached my resume, and had a talk with Dr. Sushant or Dr. Sushant Soni. If you want to write, you can. If not, it is still okay. And attach your CV. In the CV, you always start with your name, address, a photograph is there, your current address as well as permanent residential address, from which college you have passed, and attach your internship completion certificate as well as the degree that you have with you. This comprises your CV. This is your plain and simple CV at MBBS level, and this is a verified contact. So those of you who are looking for fixed money, you can go for HCL Healthcare. Those of you who want to work for incentives, I'll come to more fixed monies also. Those of you who want to work incentive based can work for Practo, Librate as well as Drona. Next, बच्चे प्रोपॉन तो नहीं होगा. As to बच्चे, अगर if money as does job entail, JS, which I have never, matlab, it's a very specific question that is it a video consultation or over call, but no idea. I mean, it did not cross my mind to ask that, but it does not matter now. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection, and even if it is a video consultation, I mean, you will just be sitting in front. Does it matter? I don't know. I don't know, and I do not even know whether it entails video or just audio. बच्चे विनीशा कुछ नहीं चाहिए, you will be working for the company ना, so if the income is above a particular level then you will be worried about taxes, not at this point यार, 2-3 महीने तो काम करना है, उसमें क्या ही टैक्स, मतलब 1 mg, yes मंजुना बच्चे you can work for 1 mg if wait happy days बच्चे, as of now I'll cater to this FMG question बच्चे, as of now there is no indication of 18th June FMG being postponed. But if, and the chances of it being postponed are also less, but if it comes, I'll be telling you, don't worry about it. If studying is a priority, acha, now this is actually, there is no minimum cutoff bache. You can work for as less as 15 days to as long as you wish. I mean, with respect to HCL Healthcare, I can actually vouch for it. There is no minimum cutoff. Same thing is true for other apps also, but how, whether they will cut the money or whether there will be a time notice period for logging off, that I do not know of with respect to other apps, firstly. Secondly, for those of you for whom studying is a priority, bache, you can go for part-time at HCL, or if you are feeling too much saturated and just want some pastime, you can go for Liberate or Drona. In that case, Practo will not suit you. Practo is only for the people who want slightly more money immediately, because it is incentive based and you will have to be very quick in accepting the patient's call. अगर तुमने accept नहीं किया तो somebody else is accepting it, ना, it is fastest finger first. So it will just work. It will just depend on what is your priority. I've just told you the pros and cons of each. Lastly, those of you who are slightly more on the experience side, that is, who have dropped a year or two or have a 2-year work experience. अब देखो बच्चे, again I am saying this, that this 2 years of experience is a very vague term. This will be applicable for the students who have already dropped. I am saying so because if somebody has dropped, then you can always say like, I was working at a hospital side by 8 working hours. They just need to have their own laptop and connection with, and you can contact on this number. Again, there are numerous opportunities. Just give me one sec. Just one sec. Okay, so coming back Mayur, that was cute. Nahi bache, I guess patients will give money to first year students not to treat them, I guess. And lastly, if we lag some information in front of patients, bache, again, this is actually a nice question that you asked, and a good doctor is always worried about the fact that if I lag some information or if my knowledge is not up to the mark, will it be harming the patient firstly, and secondly, will it be fired or not? These are two doubts which actually majority of the good doctors have, and I'm glad about this question. Firstly, no very serious case will be sent to a pure MBBS doctor. I am saying so because when as a patient I log on to the app, but I am also choosing na ki I am going to a general physician. I am not going to a specialist. I as a patient I am going to a general physician because of two reasons. Either I am not very ill, or secondly I have some vague doubts which I have already asked 10 other people and I just want confirmation for the same. And thirdly, I work in a corporate setup and my company has given me 5-6 free visits which I want to utilize. So do not worry about lagging information. ज़्यादा severe patients नहीं आएंगे. This is actually a fact. Doc angle, payment भी होगा for work from home, as those who are working as medical officers are not getting paid. बच्चे work from home का हो जाएगा. देखो, Practo, Liberate as well as Drona and HCL Healthcare, these 4 I can very easily say that you will get the payment. with respect to this is not verified by me, but has been again sent by a close friend, and doctors are needed. But this has an initial contract period of 2 months. If you break the contract, that is first month ke end pay, the payment will be staggered. Suppose you work for 1 month, you will get the payment after 1 month 10 days. So if you leave at this point, you will not get the payment for these 10 days. You will be getting fully paid only after you work for whole 2 months. So this has a minimum 2 month guarantee period. uh, Done है. Actually, what about the where you MD? बच्चे no idea, no idea. हाँ, you can register for all three. अकबर बच्चे another nice question कि is there any limit to the number of apps that you can register to? You can register to all three or all four. Those of you who want to seriously work, start with HCL Healthcare. Start with HCL Healthcare. Fixed money है. देखो, we guys as doctors, हम लोगों का ना इस टाइम पे target, it's not to earn money at this point. Our target at this point is to be self-sufficient, कि self sort of independent, कि I will not again be asking my parents for money during this crisis time. They are also facing their crisis of their own. Whatever money I need for my expenses, for studying, food, and a comfortable lifestyle, whether it is a rented accommodation or at home, I want to earn that much, clear my PG, and get it over with. This session is not a session for your permanency. This is a session कि ये 3-4 महीने टेम्परेरी फेज में सेल्फ इंडिपेंडेंट मैनर में कैसे निकल जाए. Absolutely done. Absolutely done. It is online, बच्चे. All the jobs that are at present, interns नहीं बच्चे, interns नहीं. Language of consultation will be depending upon the patient who is coming to you. I guess all of us are comfortable, majority of us are comfortable with both Hindi as well as English. It will depend on the language the patient wants to talk to you. Done hai. So, and lastly, everybody, this was work from home. But again, I'm saying this, all this was temporary. Suppose, and God favoring, you guys start earning very well, but do not be tempted to make it long term. Nothing like this is long term. This is only temporary for these 3-4 months कि थोड़ा money आ जाए, and majority of the time we will be sitting together and studying. This was the same thing which I told in the previous session also, but today was day 3 of season 1. We are discussing the high yield topics. Season 2 will be image based versus season 3, which will be the test and analysis. Because of the money portion, do not lose your aim, and your aim is NEET PG /INI. It is not to earn money at this point. So I'll be logging off at this point. Absolutely no doubts about that, बच्चे. हाँ नहीं, without clearing FMG you cannot work ना. You need that doctor degree. So I have taken care, बच्चे, for anybody, for everybody. Dr. Ford, बच्चे, at this time there are numerous appointments, so don't worry about that. If you apply today, you will get through. And lastly, have taken care of all the questions. For those of you who joined slightly later, bache, you can have a look at the previous session and your queries will be answered. I just wanted to end over today's session at tough times never last. These are tough times. There is absolutely no doubt about it that these are one of the toughest times that are going on. But as medicos, bache, we are the toughest people of all. Tough people last. So we are going to adapt. We are not going to react to everything that is being thrown to us. We will respond. At present, my today's response is work from home in a safe environment. I have given you all the links for the same with a decent pay. Even if you are working 4 hours and you are getting 25 to 30k, but 4 hours of safe 25 to 30k is much better than, as you were telling me day before yesterday, कि we were getting 60k working 8 hours in a hazardous environment. इस टाइम पे हमारी needs इतनी नहीं है. Our needs are not astronomical. Our target is to clear the paper. So needless to say, बच्चे, bestest of luck for the exam, and take care. waiting, who finished internship, Arun bache, have a talk directly with the apps and they will take care. If patient asks and you do not have any idea, you can always refer the patient to a specialist. You will get your money even for the referral part. It was the mistake of the patient ना कि उसने ठीक से डॉक्टर चूज नहीं करा. Don't worry, these are nitty-gritties. These are very nitty-gritties. कुछ नहीं होगा. Contact with the HR. Yes, interviews will be taking place. HR, Human Resource Department, will conduct all the interviews, but it will go smoothly. Done है बच्चे. Thank you.